Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I am here to give you a bit of a review. You've been here for quite some time, and so you have been studying nutrition. You should be a student expert of nutrition. Oh no, sorry about that. Student expert of nutrition at this point in your journey. With that, I want to reiterate why we're focusing on nutrition so heavily at the beginning of your journey. It's because nutrition is 80% of this battle when it comes to changing your body. Nutrition is going to be the thing that ensures that you can lose the weight and keep it off. So let's go through kind of the hierarchy, the understanding of things that we've done together. And then I want to give you some examples just to ensure that you are accurately tracking your nutrition at home, help you feel successful, and then ultimately have our Friday check-in this week and feel really, really good about what we've been up to. Okay, first and foremost, our nutrition understanding has started with calories. That is the amount of energy that's inside of the food that you're eating, okay? Every type of food has a different caloric level. For example, this entire package of salad is 40 calories, and this can of ginger ale is 140 calories. With that understanding, we start to make decisions about the foods that fit into our daily caloric allotment. That is the amount of calories that you're currently eating, whether you are currently working to find your basal metabolic rate or whether you are currently working toward weight loss, the amount of calories that you need, these things make up those calories. But within our calories, we have three different macronutrients that we focus on: our proteins, our carbs, and our fats. Okay? Protein is pretty much straightforward. We know that proteins for the majority of your protein should come from not organic, but natural animal sources, right? Or plant proteins, if that's what you're into. Then we have our carbohydrates. The majority of our carbohydrates should come from whole grains, whole starches. That is carbs that are still inside of a skin. And our carbs are also coming from fruits and vegetables. We'll get to that in a second. And then we have our fats. Our fats are from nuts, nut butters, oils, and avocados. That's where we should be getting the majority of our fat from. And those three macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fat, that make up our calories, right? We should be focusing on whole foods throughout this whole entire compilation, okay? So we want to focus on things like fruit. We want to focus on vegetables. We want to focus on nuts, right? We want to focus on animal protein 80% of the time. 20% of the time, we want to make space for things like candy, because it's Halloween. I don't know about you, right? I like candy. Or things like chips, right? Or things like soda. 20% of the time, we make time for those things because we're human, and those are part of what allows the human experience to be enjoyable. There's just something about biting into a crunchy Lay's chip, or there's something about the sweetness, it stabs you in the back of your mouth, about the candy that you eat around Halloween, right? So we enjoy that 20% of the time, but 80% of the time, we want proteins, carbs, and fats that are whole and natural occurring. And we want that again, because that is what's going to ensure that our bodies are changing. So with that, I want to teach you, or at least make sure you understand, two things to ensure that we're accurately tracking, that we're accurately making progress toward the goals that we want to achieve, okay? The first is nutrient density. That is, for the amount of calories in this food, how many calories are in this food, one, and how much nutrition is in this food, two, okay? For most of us watching this video, we are in a calorie deficit, which means that as we budget out our calories throughout the day, we need to be very intentional with the amount of calories in the things that we're eating. For example, I mentioned that this can of soda is 140 calories. I also mentioned that this box of salad is 40 calories. Which one do you think will get you full? Which one do you think is more nutritious? The ginger ale, right? Absolutely not. The salad. You can eat this whole thing, be full for the entire afternoon, and have done that on only 40 calories. That's how we think about this process. The same thing is true for oranges, right? You have a single orange at about 100 calories. However, hold on, I forgot it. 1 second. One orange is 120 calories, or 100 calories, whereas 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is 190 to 220 calories. Which one has more density and more nutrition. The peanut butter, right? Absolutely not. The oranges, that's what we want to go for most of the time, okay? So I just wanted to make sure that you all saw how we think about calorie density. That is, in a serving of this food, how many calories does this currently have? At the same time, when we look at the amount of calories, for example, in a serving of this food, that's 19 chips. I have some chips here. 19 chips is 130 calories. In a serving of this food, I actually want to also look for the macronutrient breakdown, which is the protein, the carbs, and the fats, because I have goals working toward my protein, carbs, and fats, and I need to make sure that these things fit, okay? The amount of fat in this 130 calories is 6 grams. The amount of carbohydrates is 18 grams, and the amount of protein is 2 grams. If I am 20 grams behind my protein goal for today, should I be reaching for chips? Probably not. I should probably be reaching to make a protein shake if I'm behind on my protein goal, if I'm hungry, and if I'm looking at the amount of calories, right? I need to be making sure that I'm hitting my calorie goal and my macronutrient goal. I probably won't reach for the chips first. The same thing is true on things like oat milk. I don't know about you all, but I am lactose intolerant. And so that means that I can't have a whole bunch of fun when it comes to milk and dairy products, right? So that means I have to use alternative milks. In 1/8 fluid ounce or 1 cup of alternative milk, oat milk, this is 110 calories, 6 grams of fat, 12 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein, right? I might mix this with my protein shake, or I could go for almond milk, right? Which has only 30 calories compared to 110 calories. And within this 30 calories, I have 2.5 grams of fat, I have 1 gram of carb, and 1 gram of protein. This is perfect for my protein shake, right? It's more smooth, more creamy than water, but it's not going to take up 70 extra calories that it doesn't have to, okay? So the last thing that I want to kind of remind you of is when you're measuring. You should be using an electric food scale. On your electric food scale, you should be measuring your food in grams, okay? We want to measure the food in grams because we want to know how heavy that food actually is. So what should you be measuring in grams? Pretty much everything, right? You should know how much food you're consuming. That includes things like peanut butter. If you just kind of mindlessly just scoop out some peanut butter, make a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and instead of 2 tablespoons, you have 4 tablespoons, you have now made yourself a 500 calorie sandwich off 4 tablespoons of peanut butter, okay? This is how keto people end up regaining the weight that they think they're losing because you're not keeping track, right? We need to understand how much nutrition we're actually intaking, which is why we accurately weigh and measure in grams on a food scale, okay? Last thing that I want to remind you of, right, is making this easy. Because this process, as you're getting started, can be a little bit tedious. You're learning something new, okay? As you're learning something new, I want for you to put some of this stuff on autopilot, right? I want for you to know what you're going to eat, whether it's prepared or not, right? I want for you to have a strategy behind what you're going to eat most of the time. That means Monday through Friday, your breakfast and your lunch pretty much look similar, right? They pretty much look the same. If you have a family or if you're eating dinner with friends or colleagues or you name it, sure, dinner can be a little bit different. But for the majority of your day, I'd say anywhere between 70 to 80% of the day, you have control over what you eat. It's predictable. That way, when you track it on Monday, it looks the same on Tuesday, the same on Wednesday, the same on Thursday, and it removes your mind from needing to find extra things in MyFitnessPal, right? It removes the need to kind of get creative and, well, how much was this? And, oh, I can't find this in MyFitnessPal. You wouldn't have that problem if you found it once and then repeated that process for the rest of the week, okay? Eat at home, eat whole foods 80% of the time, and then have some autonomy, some direction, some control over what you are going to be eating throughout the week. Don't leave it up to guesswork. If you leave what you're eating up to guesswork, I guarantee you we will be having a conversation about, I wonder why you're not losing weight. And I bet you it's because of things like this, because of inaccurate tracking of our macronutrients and our calories, okay? I hope this video was helpful. I hope you gained something from this. I hope you're doing well, and I can't wait to check in with you later on this week. Talk to you soon.